As soon as I walked in this tiny house, I fell in love with it. The sofa couch on the bottom was the main selling point. For me, this is like my bachelor pad. This is the first time that I lived out on my own, and it taught me a great deal. A lot of us live on the corporate grind and just work, and living the tiny house life allows you the opportunity to decompress and see life for what it really is. Hello everyone, and welcome to the tiny house block up in Mount Laguna, California. I am Grant Bartolo, and this is my tiny house that I've been living in for the past 7 months. I was living in the Orange County suburb, and I was growing disenchanted with the city life, just the traffic and the congestion, combined with achieving corporate burnout. I was at the prime of my life, and I realized that I wanted a reset. I felt that a great place for me to reset would be up here in Mount Laguna, because I had already had friendships made up here, but little did I know the impact that living up here at the tiny house block would have. As soon as I walked in this tiny house, I fell in love with it just because of the storage space, and then the lofts were spacious, and the sofa couch on the bottom was the main selling point for me. Just being able to not only have my own place to chill, to have dinner, but also have some of my friends and neighbors over. For me, this is like my bachelor pad. It's really just built for one person and my 3 cats to stay in. The rent for my tiny house is at $1,400, and utilities typically go from $50 to $100. After 6 months, it's month to month, which is really convenient for someone like me who wasn't necessarily looking to stay long term, but wanted to be able to have enough time to where I can have that reset, have that break from the professional grind, and be able to have the flexibility to move when I needed to. So I've been living up here full time for the past 7 months. Even though I am moving to Arizona to start a new life with my girlfriend and her daughter at the end of the month, living here in Mount Laguna served its purpose because I was able to take a pause, reset my life, chart a new course of action, while also being where I love, which is in nature. So I didn't want to be in my 60s and be like, oh gosh, I wish I would have lived in the mountains. I wish I would have lived in a tiny house. And it's been a great opportunity for me. I've grown personally. I've grown more independent. I can't say enough good things about it. I loved it. And I will look back at this experience fondly. I'm super excited to show you the inside of the tiny house that I've been living in for the last 7 months. Let's go. Welcome inside. So to the right, we have the kitchen area and the restroom. And then to the left, we have the common living area. I've hosted a few friends over for dinner, and as you can see, it's a little bit empty. I am in the process of moving out, but you can get a snapshot of what it's like to live in a tiny house. The sofa here is a pretty cool feature of my tiny house because it actually was custom built, and it's been great for having people over and also being able to lay down and watch movies and unwind. Behind me is a photo of the Superstition Mountains in the Arizona desert, Usery Mountain Regional Park. That's actually where I'm going to be moving to later this month. The tiny house block has given me an opportunity to reinvent myself as a person, rediscover myself, while also being able to hike in nature, Cleveland National Forest, forest full of Jeffrey pines and oak trees and a plethora of wildlife. It's been a really healing experience. And the neighborhood here at the tiny house block is very warm and friendly. Everyone knows everybody. People will help each other out. I have neighbors that will watch my kitties, and everyone has each other's back. And in a time when community is starting to dwindle, living up here at the tiny house block is a nice reminder of the power of community. I lived in the suburbs near Long Beach for 5 years before I lived up here. Never learned any of my neighbors' names during that time, and now I know over 24 of my neighbors' names, and I've gone from having strangers as neighbors to close friends. Switching gears, you can see here that I have pull-out drawers, my socks, my boxers, my t-shirts here, and then I have my shoes, and then behind, next to the kitchen, I have my nicer clothes hung up. So tiny house life is great because it teaches you to be efficient with your space. Moving on to other areas of the house, we have here the stairs. As I was saying, with the space efficiency, what's great is that not only do these serve as stairs to the secondary loft and also take you to the bedroom where the ladder is, but you also have pull-out drawer space. I have cat food there, storage space here, and these can also be used to store other things. And on the bottom of the stairs is also more pull-out drawers, so I can just simply move the step, and then I have even more space. So I thought honestly before I moved up here that I would have to invest in a storage unit, but thanks to all of these drawers I have been able to save money. Much like the rent up here, which is only $1,400 at 210 square feet. That may not sound like a lot, but it's actually a lot bigger than meets the eye. Moving on from the stairs to the rest of the ground floor, we have the kitchen area, which has a sink. I have my mirror here. Building off the theme of cabinet space and drawers, there's more drawers for days, more drawers. And so I would use these drawers mostly for kitchen stuff. And then this is the fridge. This is my toaster oven. The thing about living up here in Mount Laguna is that you're not really close to many supermarkets or grocery markets. Like the closest one is a half an hour away down the town of Alpine. When you drive down the mountain, you have to make your time count. You gotta get a lot of groceries to stock up for at least 2 weeks, so that way you won't have to drive the 70 miles round trip. And then I have my stove here, and I love the stainless steel countertops. Everything I need is right here. Here we are in the bathroom. We have a flushing toilet, which is very convenient. And here is my shower area, which has metal lining, and it has a shower to where you could, adjust it and put it on different areas of your body. And the water is very hot thanks to the water here being right outside. It's able to be pumped in. Just keep in mind when you stay here in the winter, you're gonna have to do what's called the drip system, where you're gonna have to leave the water on a drip system, so that way the water in the pipe doesn't freeze. I'm not pulling this curtain back because all my dirty laundry is in there right now. That's the thing with tiny houses, is that you have to make use of your space, so that's how I'm making use of my space right now, is putting my dirty laundry in there. You're also able to get your privacy in here. Here is a sliding drawer where I'm able to just pull it out and slide it back out, so that way if I have company, they're able to close this and have a peace of mind knowing that they have their privacy. All right, so we're going to go out of the bathroom now and go up to one of my 2 lofts. So this loft behind me is my spare loft, so I used to use it as an office space. So here we have my secondary loft, which used to be my primary loft where my bed was, but I decided it would be best used as a storage space, and the fact that it's right in front of the neighborhood, I didn't want them to see me sleeping, so I decided to move my primary loft over there. But I've used this for multiple uses. So before, it was a work desk, it had my work chair, which is this one, and then I started moving the boxes that I needed for my move up here. And now it's mostly unfurnished, but the cats need a place to be able to look out, so I have one box here and the litter box is in the corner. But what I love about this is not only that it has all this room, it has the plugs here, the wall plug, but it also has this cabinet space. So I used to put my TV up here for when I wanted to watch my TV from my primary loft, and then I would also put candles to burn. I'm a big candle guy, so I would love being able to just place my candles up here and burn them. Whereas most tiny houses have 1 loft, this one has 2, so it just gave me a lot more flexibility for me to put my possessions in. So I do have a funny story of me living up here. This was earlier in the summer, and I was laying on my sofa, just relaxing, watching a movie, and Arthur jumped on the couch and he was being very friendly. He was meowing, and I remember thinking, like, he's being very friendly, but I found it unusual, but I didn't really pay attention to it. And then the movie was coming to an end, and I looked to my right and I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was a dead mouse on the couch next to me I was so panicked, I threw a towel over it because I thought it was a bird, and so I ran over to Natalie's house, the property manager, and was like, Natalie, I saw a dead bird on the couch, and yeah, she came right over, but she still razzes me for that, saying like, oh, you got so scared because you saw a mouse and you had to come get me. But yeah, that was hilarious because it was so unexpected. And I could look back and laugh, but at the time I was horrified. So we're all done in my secondary loft. Now we're gonna head up to my primary loft. So we have ladder steps here. So I just climb up these, and then this is where my bed is. And I've actually started to use this area as my primary loft for not just sleeping arrangements, but also deep work arrangements. My chair you saw is back there, but when I need to do research, I work right here, and my cats are here, so I'm able to spend quality time with them. But why I also moved back here is not only more privacy, because there's not as many people that are back there toward that part of the neighborhood, but also there's my heater system, which does a great job of heating the upper area of the house. So on days where it would get really cold this past winter, we had multiple nights rather that got in the high 20s, low 30s. So I had this thing cranking, and it really came in clutch. And as you can see, there's more shelf space, and I also have pull-out drawers, and then more shelf space, plug, 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 and then this is actually a railing that can be used to hang clothing. So this is now my primary loft until I move out. And that wraps up the tour of my tiny house. Even though my time up here at the tiny house block is coming to a close, I'm still grateful that I had the opportunity to live up here. It gave me everything I needed: shelter, warm water, most of all, independent living. This is the first time that I lived out on my own, and it taught me a great deal. One of the main takeaways for me is that it just allows you the opportunity to decompress and just pause and see life for what it really is. A lot of us live on the corporate grind and just work, 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 and live for the weekend. But for me, I was able to take a step back from that and take a little break. And living in a place like this where it's free of distraction, you're able to just focus on yourself, focus on bettering yourself. I can't say enough good things about living the tiny house life in general.
If you like this week's episode, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and check back soon because we have new unique home tours publishing all the time. And if you'd like to join our team and get access to members-only content and unique perks, make sure you click on the join button below.